Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Voltron Legendary Defender, Star Wars The Force of Evil, and Ruby. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And Sam Quattro.
Hi.
Today, Delaney, Sam, and I will be discussing the February 1st episode of
What day?
Steven Universe.
Whatever day.
Where are we? We're in outer space.
Yeah.
Days don't exist.
That's true. We're discussing The Zoo today. We're pre-recording this, but this is going up on the 1st. The Zoo is airing, so spoilers for The Zoo and all episodes before The Zoo, but no spoilers for that will be all tomorrow. You can find out everything about us at overlyanimated.com, or you can search for the Overly Animated Podcast on your favorite podcatcher. Sam and I have seen tomorrow's episode, and Delaney has not seen it yet. So we'll have Delaney's final predictions at the end of this for the whatever Stephen Baum this is finale, the outer space one. I guess they're calling it something like that. But so there you go. Let's get right into The Zoo. Spoilers for this episode and all episodes before. Delaney, very interesting episode. What are your reactions to The Zoo?
It was interesting. I don't think it was really exciting. I feel like it was kind of a typical kind of archetype of what this episode was trying to accomplish. Like, this kind of like utopia, weird schedule, brainwashed people. The Descendants thing is interesting, and like their naming system, and how, of course, they're happy. They don't know anything different. It was like pretty and kind of interesting, and then it really got really interesting at the end. And the Choosening was weird.
Yeah.
And the fact that they kept calling it the Choosening, it's like, why does it have to be like this? But it was okay. I think this is a pretty weak episode.
You were expecting more plot, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just like it's neat. It does some stuff. I don't think it really does anything unique or particularly interesting.
Mm.
I think the getting hurt thing was funny, and Steven just like knocking his dad into a tree was great. Like, poor Greg.
Poor Greg, yeah.
I think for me, this is like the weakest episode of the bomb.
Okay, well, we'll get to that at the end. Interesting. Sam, thoughts on The Zoo?
I thought it was really cute. I don't know. I mean, there was all this build-up about like the ominous The Zoo. Ooh, what could it be? Humans chained up into walls, cages, etc. How we treat actual animals in the real world. But I don't know. It was actually kind of really cute, and I love the humans. They're so adorable.
Zoomins.
The Zoomins.
Yeah.
The Zoomins. And how the Gareg, and I don't remember exactly how they pronounce Steven's name. Stevan,
yeah.
Stevan.
Yeah.
And it was just so cute, and like they're so happy, and I love them, and I hope that they find love someday.
You hope they get chosen someday.
Chosen.
Or I hope that they chosen and also get chosen back.
Yeah.
Like a mutual choosening.
Have they reformed the system? That's the big question here.
Yes.
I mean, since, I don't know, I guess they got to do something now with them since they're all upset. Maybe give everybody something to do.
I think it's funny that they're all running around crying, and they sent out the amethyst because they were all running around crying. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The amethyst consoling them is really great.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I really love The Zoo. I can understand why this isn't like some people's fave. I've seen that opinion floating around, so I'm glad Delaney's representing that. But this is my fave. I think I think this episode is just a really great start to finish. It's a really nice. I mean, this is the typical episode I think Dylan is a fan of. It's a really nice self-contained arc. And you're right. And this isn't doing anything unique with this utopia type arc, but I think it's doing it really well and really Steven Universe-y. I think the art direction on this episode's really great. I think Lamar and Katie do a great job with this whole episode, and just a big fan of The Zoo. I guess I wish maybe they could have done more interesting things, but what they do I think is really great. Everything with the choosing is great. Everything with this is also one of the best Greg episodes, I think. Gareg episodes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Gareg.
Yeah. So let's get into all this with The Zoo, and we'll in depth discuss their choosing system and the future of it, right? Yeah. So
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so Delaney, what are your thoughts on we get to this zoo that we've been kind of hyping up, and it turns out to just be kind of this utopia type thing. Did you see this coming at all?
I mean, I'm not. I think I made it sort of like. I think I'd made comments before, like they've made this biome, like it's just this dome that they live in, and I wasn't shocked that it's kind of like this utopia. It makes sense that the way how Homeworld has been presented, yes, they're like awful and they seem to hate humans, but they are in, quote unquote advanced like race of, like technologically advanced, and they would like, if this is for entertainment, then they would treat like whatever's in the zoo well. I think the system is interesting. They just kind of like they're allowed to kind of do whatever they want, but then there is this kind of strict routine, which I think is very Homeworld and makes a lot of sense. And this kind of soothing voice, asking them like, do you like your food, that stuff. And it's very Brave New World, controlling, mind control and
Typical
routine. Delaney has to mention Brave New World at least once every
podcast. I
podcast.
wasn't in the English class that read that book, so I've never read it.
Brave New World's solid, but
yeah.
I wasn't surprised. To me it's not a very interesting utopia like what in the episode. It's interesting in context of Homeworld. I think this reveals a little bit more about Homeworld and how Homeworld treats perhaps even the gyms.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not shocked. I mean, it was neat. It's kind of interesting that they've kept it running for so long.
Yeah,
and
so I think let's drill into 2 points here. The one is that the fact that they're being treated quote unquote well, which I think was referenced last episode with Holly kind of saying that you just need to like learn how to manage them or something. So right. To me, it's not clear if this is. I think it's supposed to be ambiguous whether this is just a practical move by everyone involved with the zoo. It's just easiest to run the zoo if like they make them happy, or if this reveals something about Pink Diamond.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of interesting thing. Number one. Number two is that these are descendants of, humans thousands of years ago, not connected to like the genealogy of Earth and the fact that they're still resembling, humans, like they speak English, like a slightly off way. But, I think that's all a really interesting concept of, just the fact that it self-sustains for so long. And then we see the system that they're using and stuff like that.
Like there's not a lot of them.
Yeah. Right. So I think
it's interesting.
I think it pretty clearly points to the choosing being a selective, selective breeding program, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and just, the computer system does it very deliberately not to overpopulate or anything. Which I think makes sense. But, I agree in the concept of like the canon of utopias and like history of all these, this isn't doing anything unique, but in this universe context, this is pretty interesting. And I also think it's done in a really like, stylistically interesting way.
Yeah, definitely.
Thoughts on Y6 and J10? Y6 is the dude and J10 is the girl. Y6 voiced by Lamar of the storyboarding studio. J10 voiced by Christina V, the English voice of Ladybug, and she also does the little voice. I think she a little bit sounded like Ladybug. I think anyway.
Yeah, like a tad.
Yeah. What do you with who's your fave of all these?
Y6.
Y6.
Yeah, Y6. Yeah.
He's I just love him so much.
Not like why? Where's the J10 love? I mean, come on, they're both great.
Because she isn't like. I don't know. She just doesn't have that sparkle that Y6 has. Yeah.
What do you like about Y6, Sam?
I like how he smiles and how he says "Gareg," and how he's like, ha 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 ha. Steven doesn't know what a little voice is.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's cute. I don't know. Don't judge me.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yes, I think they're great. All of the other humans. What do we think of like this little voice system? Putting them on the schedule and telling them what to do. Yes, Sam?
So I'm calling this. This is the resurrection of the alternate Earth theory. Because I'm not, unless like Pink Diamond or whoever was like really into like figuring out what humans are like and like what they eat and like, what a bath is and stuff. Like how would the diamonds or gems know what a bath is? It's like, I don't know. Or like,
Yeah, unless Pink Diamond like studied Earth, except it didn't make sense because it was thousands of years ago. But yeah,
or sleep or play or whatever. I mean, there has to be like somewhere that they're getting that from.
what is
Maybe
the little? Yeah, what is the little voice? Is this a fully automated computer system?
Probably.
Right,
or it
but-
could be like an artificial intelligence.
Right.
Of some sort
It
that's
definitely
kind of
has to be.
independent.
Yeah, it definitely has to be some sort of AI because it seems pretty smart. It's like ask Stephen
Right.
why he's not in the bath and stuff like that. Yeah. So I
Maybe
think
it just automatically just does that. Like if somebody doesn't get in the bath.
right. I don't. Yeah, you could argue how much of it is responding to them. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting concept. Yeah, just okay. Let's talk the big highlight, the choosing here. I think this must be discussed. So we have this kind of typical like choosing each other, and then Greg rebelling, and then everyone wanting to choose in Greg. Thoughts on this, Delaney?
Like, why did everyone want to choose Greg? It's just because he's shiny and new.
Yes,
like,
I
I mean,
think so.
Greg's fine, but I don't know. Poor Greg. I think this was pretty interesting. Also, what's interesting to me is there are no children. They're all the same age, so it's very clear, like, this is how systematic this is.
Yeah, I guess they could be off hiding somewhere, but yeah, weird that there's no children. But
Well, I
yes.
mean, it makes sense if it's very kind of automated, like, do this,
Yeah, like every,
this,
like-
this.
However long, and then they kill the old ones. Maybe I don't know.
So you think we're gonna have the Giver?
Yeah,
part in
maybe.
here? Yeah.
it was kind of Giver-esque. I feel like.
Yeah, no,
Well,
definitely.
yeah. Well, that's another thing. It's like, what do they do with the dead? Like, do they just come in and get them? And
Shoot them out into space.
yeah, I guess you
I
throw
don't
them in space,
understand.
yeah. And
Keep them in their amethyst bone rooms.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Good-
where
good point.
Amethyst gets her
Yeah.
bones.
Good point. I love how they play off the choosing and choosing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's really great. Everyone wanting to choose in Greg. Sam, it was pretty gay when Y6 is like, I want to choose in you, Greg, right?
Yeah, it was. Why are you asking me? But yeah, it is good.
Yeah, so we're talking on the other podcast. That's why I bring this up. Is how it seemed kind of heteronormative at first, right? Because it's kind of like this
Right.
Yeah.
breeding program.
But yeah, because it is breeding. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then again, I think the concept of like the choosing, it feels, I don't know, it sort of feels like sort of scrubbed of all sexuality, and
yeah. No, I definitely got
would-
the impression that they
Like,
didn't. They weren't
there's
kind
like
of.
an obvious like companionship aspect to it, but like it's pretty obvious to us that it's mostly just for breeding. And not like any sort of like union. I mean, you choosing each other, blah blah blah. You hold hands, and maybe like a quick peck. But I don't know. It doesn't really seem like they really give a thought to what sexuality is, because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's their society they live in. The little voice tells them heteronormativity, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like they'd have any concept of, othering non-straight people or anything like that, right?
Right.
Like, that wouldn't make sense to them. Also, yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like any of this is like sexual.
Though there's clearly, I don't think there's any sort of distinction to them between like romantic and platonic, because they're always like Greg, like what they feel is what they feel, and it's very simplistic, and there is no distinction between anything. Like what they feel is what they feel,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like they don't like there's no concept of it there being any difference. Like to them, love might just be like this one thing, and so how maybe Y6 is like I love Greg, and then Y6 like Y6 gets choose it, and it's like same thing. Like there's no difference to them. It's like whatever. And also there's this group think, like they're just all together, and like they're like a commune. There's not really any individual. You're not really an individual anyway.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting point. So, are they kind of conforming to this gem system of lack of individuality?
Yes.
I mean, I would say so. I mean, they're not really there is no independent thought. I mean, I do think it's interesting that we have Y6 and J10 show up, and it was Greg and Stevan making the noise. Like they went to investigate.
Yeah, true.
So-
Also, they get there pretty quick. I don't know how they
Yeah.
they did that. Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. Like, maybe it makes sense. Maybe if the gems are programming their whole society, then they'd make it like Gem Society. I think it's an interesting read on it.
Well, I mean, I don't think they'd try and, especially considering the attitude we've been presented that Homeworld feels about Earth and humans, that they wouldn't want, they would recreate their own society with humans.
Yeah. I agree with that. So yeah, it is interesting that, how much of that is like the gem influence versus what they've studied on what humans need. Cause it's like, the routine that they give them is kind of this, eat, play, and then they also have, bath. They also smell the flowers though. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was an odd part.
Just stop and smell the flowers.
Yeah, so it's like slightly beyond just like physical needs.
It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like Peridot when like Peridot reads something, and like it's like when Peridot got the tablet, and Peridot was on Twitter, and then like not understanding how, or they kind of like fixating on one thing. I bet it's like whoever was in charge of research for the zoo read something, like, stop and smell the like flowers, and like fixated on that. And, like all humans have to do this.
Yeah, okay, I have a good comparison. You know what this is like? It's like at the end of Wall-E when the ship captain is telling the system to like Google all these terms, and he's like, Google farming, and then he's like, oh, that's what this is. So I feel like that's what the gems did for humans.
Oh, flowers smell.
Yeah.
We don't have noses that have sinuses and
can gems smell?
Well, they're not actually like, well, I don't know. Amethyst likes to eat, but I don't know how much, like, what it is that she enjoys.
There's probably a point in the series one of them smelled something. I just can't remember it off the top of my
probably.
head.
But I don't know. I can't really see it. Like, they're rocks. I mean,
well, they're light.
They can also, but they have mass and they can see and stuff. And
right.
Yeah, holograms with mass.
Yeah, so they've already broke the rules of that.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
Yeah.
Our sugar, get back to us. Can the gems smell? Have we missed something?
Tell us in the comments. I think the listeners will answer that, but yeah. Other stuff in the episode we can talk about, the gems, hearing stories about Steven, the bits.
That was great.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a while, but
and they wanted him to say it, but then he didn't say it.
No, he was done with that.
He was so done.
It was like, guys, that's like 3 years ago. Get over it.
I agree.
4 years ago. Wow.
That was another like interesting, fun part of the episode. Was like, I mean, we're really seeing how much Steven has matured. Like Steven is just done. Like done.
Yeah, he's a little done right now.
He's having none of this. I felt so bad for him, and it was so funny when Greg was just gonna go to sleep, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then he breaks Greg's rib when he punches him.
Yeah, it's the concept of the hurts, the not knowing what it is.
The opposite of good, and they're like, huh.
Yeah.
And then when they all get like unchosen by Greg, they're like, and then Y6 is like, is this what hurt is? Yeah. And there's like, he's like snot crying.
Pretty dramatic, yeah.
It's great. I love it.
What do we think these the purple fruit is made of? That's my question.
Okay, so I think because I don't think it's actually fruit. Like I think it might be kind of, especially I don't know, it's weird. Like they just kind of appear. So I feel like it's more like it's just something they eat that has like nutritional value to it, but it's not actually like a thing. Like it's something they made.
I think
where
this is
getting these nutrients.
Yeah, where are they getting this? I think this is like a biblical manna type thing. Like
perhaps.
Yeah. Like do they have like a sustainable like fruit farm where they just like ploop, there you go, there's purple fruit for the day. But like where's it coming from?
I think the gems can just make infinite like food.
Well, it's like I feel like they probably are like they have enough technology where they could do something like that. They can create something with like some sort of flavor, maybe. I don't know if it really had flavor. Steven did not look like he was enjoying his meal. Like they just ate that one fruit.
Right. So it seems like that is to provide all the nutrients for them.
It's kind of like a.
Yeah.
Then like, I don't know. I guess like if you've never had like a taco or whatever,
it's like space tofu.
Space tofu. That's rude to tofu, Delaney. But yeah.
If you haven't had something with like salt, like hot sauce and like barbecue sauce and like whatever, you can't really like.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what anything tastes like. Yeah, I agree.
They're too busy smelling the flowers, so who cares?
Yeah, true.
They've been choosing the matchmaking thing. There's always a catch to these utopias, says Greg.
That was good.
Yeah.
Gareg.
Says Gareg. Yeah, I gotta say in this too, I choose none of you.
Tears.
Yeah, and then them at this counseling them. Let's talk about it.
That
Sure,
was
you
so
will.
funny.
Yeah, that's the best part. And then at the end, they're in big trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Delaney, what's up with that? Predictions time.
Okay, so I think they're in big trouble because they made them upset. And two ways this is going to go. They either actually get taken to Blue Diamond, or we go this stupid kind of route where they're in timeout and like have to have a talking to and apologize to all the Zoomins.
Oh, so you want to see more Zoomins next episode?
I
That's
don't actually, but I feel like these are the two options. They could have maybe found out that, like, I mean, I still believe that Blue Diamond has changed and it wants to apologize to Sapphire and Ruby, because why not? And they're in like big trouble. They're being summoned because they found out like all of this was kind of like a ruse.
Okay.
So those are like the two options.
What's gonna happen with Sapphire and Pearl and everyone?
Well, I will say we're still going to be in space at the end of the next episode. Maybe trapped, perhaps.
Ooh.
What about yeah, okay.
I don't think they're all going to get separated. I would hope not. I think we're all going to come back together. I do think like it's going to be kind of like we're in trouble. Then Blue Diamond's like, JK, you're not really in trouble.
Aw.
Maybe.
That'd be interesting. What's the future of Y6 and J10?
Ooh. Maybe they'll end up together or something. They'll be sad.
That's the vibe I was getting. I was getting like, these two feel like they want to choose in each other.
I don't know about. Oh, so you think this is? They just can't work.
I don't know why 6 is like, oh, you're so lucky, Gareg.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
What else do we have hanging here?
What are all of our Zoomin names?
That's not what the.
Yes, it is.
For Delaney
Dylan is the Dylon, I think.
Okay.
Delaney, I don't know. I've been thinking about it the past few
can't.
minutes.
Yep. I already have a Zoomin name. It's fine.
I don't know.
Just
yeah,
Delaney
you do.
on its own.
Just Delaney.
Just Delaney.
Yeah,
I don't know what mine would be either. I don't have
Siam.
Siam.
Yeah, Delaney.
I don't have enough syllables.
Sam making the Chappelle Show reference, I guess. But yeah.
I guess.
Or
we can do Sammy.
Siam. You have to do the in like all right.
Sammy.
Last thoughts on the zoo.
It was okay.
Can I move there?
you want to volunteer for the zoo?
It seems much better than our current world. So
yeah, but don't you have to get brainwashed? Kind of.
I don't really.
Sam is there art in the zoo?
Probably not, but
Right.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not really sure if there would be a need for art in the zoo.
I feel like
Then again, I would be an outsider coming in, so I would like know about like all the
you need
whatever.
You need to be born in the zoo.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be pure enough. So
Sam wants to be born in the zoo and lose forms of self-expression, but gain the so you lose the good things, but you don't have to have the existential dread of living.
It's like I mean, it's just like ignorance. Like you're just listening.
Ignorance is bliss, and I am unfortunately too self-aware, and I am so miserable, and I don't want that. So, if there is ever a universe jumping machine, I'll jump into that one, and I'll get to the zoo.
Okay. You want to be chosen? You want to volunteer as tribute for the zoo?
Yes.
So we will see what's happening. That will be all tomorrow. Let us know feedback in the comments on YouTube or the website, and keep it spoiler free until tomorrow. And our big episode, very hyped, Delaney, to see what will happen, and that will be all. Yeah. So check us out, overlyanimated.com, and consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Andy, aka Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, out of all the early tier nicknames, I think Buzz Lightyear's still one of the best one.
Yes.
I guess. I don't
yeah.
know.
Could have done Woody for that too. I think we talked about. But
You know what? The nicknames are just a holdover from the spirit world.
Yeah, they are. It's fine.
And it's my fault, so I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's your fault, but
It was
Their quality, though.
It's okay. So yeah, we will be back tomorrow to discuss that. We'll check out all of our stuff on overlyanimated.com, including all our Voltron discussions that we'll do in the future, and we're up already for your time. And thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.